Hello, Legal Shield family. Patrick Shaw here. It is Thursday, the 13th, and I want to apologize first. We recorded a video packed full of information that was too long, and it was about two things. It was one about the passing of Harlan Stonecipher, our founder, and number two, it was about having Alan Fernley in a very unique recruiting event on Friday and Saturday. And these two are almost hard to talk about together because we're talking about Harlan Stonecipher, the man that founded this company. But I can tell you this, he was never somebody that looked in the past. He was always somebody that looked to the future. And what he would tell us all to do right now, right this minute, is get to work and make something great happen. And we're going to do just that. We will have a great tribute to him on Saturday, and we really hope that you can participate with Alan Fernley in town. But let me talk for a minute about this recruiting concept. This idea that I really believe is going to spread all over the country. It's a different way of recruiting. It's a tool that you can use. And I got the concept, the idea, and it's almost going to sound like, well, this is perfect for us in Legal Shield, but I don't know. We didn't think of it before. We haven't been doing it, but I read a book called Behind the Cloud, and it's the story of Salesforce, a guy that built a $40 billion company. Now, he was spending at one point $2 to $3 million a month in direct mail, advertising, trying to get people to look at their products and services, and it wasn't working. And then, oddly enough, they had MC Hammer come to their offices and talk about street parties. And he put an entire chapter called the Events Playbook, how to use events to build buzz and drive business. And that's the concept we're going to launch on Friday night with Alan Fernley at the Zinc Bar Lounge at the Host Hotel. There's a happy hour from 5 to 7. Now, look, we've all participated in networking events. There's companies like BNI. I mean, there's so many networking companies, you can't even count them on all of our hands. There's tons of them. And they're opportunities in a very socially acceptable, comfortable way for people to come out and network with one another. And that's precisely what Salesforce did. And that's what we're going to do on Friday night. So let me tell you a few rules. Understand this first, that this is just the first of many. We will get better and better as we move along. But there is a Host Playbook, how to throw a great event. And I want to read you a few of the bullet points from it, and I want to tell you about some of the particulars that are important for this event to work for us. First and foremost, you've got to invite people. You've got to come up with your story, your reason for them to show up. If they're in insurance, in real estate, whatever they may do, invite them out to network with other people. You're not inviting them out to hear a presentation or a pitch about Legal Shield. There'll be no presentation. If they come to our event and they hear some stories about other members that have used the service and saved thousands of dollars, if they hear stories from people like myself whose lives have been changed, I spend more time with my kids, I have more freedom and flexibility, then, and they like what they hear, then they'll decide on their own to go to a second exposure. They'll decide to come out on Saturday morning. They'll decide to come to a briefing, listen to a CD, go home with a PBR DVD. Our only job is how to win friends and influence people, is to make a friend. It's a pure networking play. That's all it is. So invite based on that. If they're in another business, say, hey, it'll be a great opportunity for you to network. I'm with Legal Shield. We're hosting a social event. We want to come out. We want you to come out and just hang out, and I don't want to introduce you to the president of Legal Shield, right? So it's just fun. It's networking. They can stay as long as they want or as short as they want. Now, there are some rules. Number one is respect the fact that if you meet somebody there and you didn't invite them, that is not an opportunity for you to recruit. It's an opportunity for you to share your story and make a friend. But if they're there, they were invited by somebody, and I'm not one to say this, but I promise if anybody goes out and tries to prospect at that event, there'll be trouble, okay? Our job is just to support everybody who invites people. We've got to do this together. Number two is invite properly. I've already talked about that. Come up with your 45-second story. Number three is understand our greater purpose. It's social, it's fun. Number 4 is own your story. So when you're at the event, what is your story, your membership story and your opportunity story? We're not going to sit down and start drawing circles or explaining the membership. We're not going to sell the features and the benefits of Legal Shield. We're just going to share stories. It's social. And number 5 is be professional. Just because it's social and just because it's a bar, be cognizant of how you show up, what you talk about, and who you invite. It is a business event. So we're not there to talk about struggles we're having or any of those things, because we're around a bunch of people that are coming, looking, and saying, hey, do I like these people? Would I want to work with these people? Do I want more information about Legal Shield? That's important. Now, let me tell you a couple things briefly about the Hosts Playbook from Mark Benioff, who's the founder of Salesforce. He says there's a few things that are important. Number 1 is the number of people is far less crucial than the mix of people, right? So when you bring your prospect or you bring your guest, introduce them to different folks, people that are not in the business, people that are maybe just members, and people that are just associates. If you've got members, this is a great event to invite them to, even if they're just a member, and you're not inviting them to look at the business. Remember that. Harness your customers' positive energy. The event is the tool or the message. This event is a recruiting tool. It's fun. Just invite them out and have some fun, right? We don't need to close any business. If they like the people, if they like the environment, they'll ask more questions, and then we can move them to the next event. And then he says every employee, in our case, every associate at the event must be on message and look the part. Prep team members to handle different scenarios and recognize your attendees, right? So when you meet a guest, remember you're there to share your story, to make a friend, to compliment them. You want that prospect, that guest, to feel like, man, these are great people and what an incredible service. I had no idea. And we're going to do it all through testimonies, stories, and relationships. This is Friday night. I'll be picking up Alan Fernley directly from the airport. We may just be a little late for the 5 o'clock start, but we will get them there and introduce them in the meantime to different folks. 5 to 7 is the happy hour. It's the Zinc Bar right there in the Host Hotel. The details are below. We'll see you at the event, everybody. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye now. Oh, P.S. Saturday morning, it's our big Super Saturday event. Obviously, we've got Alan Fernley in town. It's going to be a tremendous event. Talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.